Okay, good afternoon, guys. So we'll be starting for this week. Sorry about the we had to postpone it yesterday because due to some inconveniences. So today we'll be basically looking at things that have to do with clipping masks since we've not touched that subject on animation. So by the end of this video, you should be able to do this is what we are trying to achieve. So this is exactly what we are trying to achieve using clip mask in creating an animation like this. So firstly, looking at the clip mask, we would want to do something very simple at first. We want to animate the animation of the people. Now, this is an illustration of what we'll be using. So this is just a rectangle, an oval, and a circle, all saved on different layers in Illustrator. As you can see, the upper layer is the pupil, the second layer is the white version of the eye, which was the oval, and the background, which is blue, is the bottom layer. So all three, it must be saved in different layers, all three, and saved so as you can export it and import it into After Effects. So let's move to After Effects now. So here we are in After Effects, and as you can see, the three layers which was saved and created is what is basically on right here because this is what is visible right here right now. So the first thing you should always do is so as to avoid tampering with your background layer itself, which is this. Let me toggle it on and off so you definitely know what I'm talking about. So if you toggle it on and off, I'll just toggle it off. It should take a while. See, so it's going to show now. It's toggle it on and off as you can see. So you need to lock. It's always good for you to lock your background layer. So the best thing is to do is to lock it. Now, if you click on any other layer, you will notice something. Basically, if this happens once in a while in After Effects, the anchor point is not showing. If such a day comes and in which you exploded the objects and your anchor points are not showing, this is what you do. All you have to do is go to this three lines that is on top of the name of your composition. When you click it, you go to View Options. When I click on view options, then you just click on layer controls. You know that it will be off. That's what's causing it. So when you click on layer controls and you click on OK, automatically bring back your anchor points because once in a while you definitely need to work with anchor points. Now, when we are talking about clipping mask, what clipping mask does is basically when you want an object to only show in not the whole area of the whole screen on in just some parts of an object like this pupil now, you definitely know that the human eye, the pupil cannot be bigger than the normal size of the eye. So definitely the whole of this pupil circle should not be showing. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that this pupil is only showing in the middle of the eye. So there are different ways to go about it, but the simplest form of going about this is what you do is this. If you come down to this menu over here, this menu in front of your layers, you will see a menu that says track math and parenting. If you do not see it, this is because this menu bar has two versions of it, which you can toggle switch. As you can see, you will see a word that says toggle switch. So if you toggle it, it goes back to something else, 3D, this thing. But if this is what your system started with, your own After Effects started with, all you have to do is just click on it again. And it toggles to track math, parenting, and moods. So that's what we are going to be working with. So now, in these three layers, you want the pupil to only show on the layer of the eye. So to do this, you duplicate where you want the people to only show the object you want to clip mask, the area in which you want it to only show, the same way we do on maybe Illustrator, in which you duplicate that area. So you first duplicate the eye. You want to use that one to do like a clipping mask for the people. So you duplicate it using Control D. So now we've duplicated the eye, and you can see it brought out the name mask white eye 2. I would suggest you maybe change the name so you can easily know it to change it to like maybe mask. You understand? So I'll be changing mine to white eye mask. So let me add mask. So now what you do is you now place that layer above the people layer because it's the people layer you want to clip mask. So you place it above it. So as you can see now, the white part is above it. Now, what you would do is you would go to the track matte of the pupil, and what you do is you click from none. From none, you change it to alpha matte white mask. You understand? Since it's white matte is above it, so you change it to alpha matte, it will do it to white mask. So once you click that, it would automatically mask into the shape of the white eye. It's loading, as you can see. It has done that. This is what we call clip masking, track masking. That's when you hear the word masking. This is what it is. Now there are other options to this track mask. So let's just for viewing sake, let's just take a look at the other options, because what we used here was clipping mask alpha matte. So if you change it to inverted alpha matte, when you say something is inverted, that means that the people will only show outside of the eye. If you choose that option, it will see it's loading. You see what it does? As you can see, it's like as if it cut out the middle side of things. It's only showing above the eye. So if we check the other options as well, lunar mask, you see what it does? As you can see, lunar mask all did the same thing as the alpha matte, and the inverted should also do the same thing as the inverted one as well. So that's what it does. So basically, the one you'll be working with a lot of time is alpha matte. So when you click on alpha matte, now what you have to do is, this is basically just the way people do the eyes animations you see online. You understand? After doing this, all they just have to do is you use the position parameters of the pupil, and you've gotten your simple eye animation. So let's quickly see if we can do something like that. So you key for position parameters. So from the center, I've created a keyframe. I've moved down the timeline. Then I want to click another keyframe. Let's see the eyes move a little bit to the right. Let's say looked right. Then down to the timeline more. Then it looked, let's say left. I would say maybe left, then I'll do bottom, left bottom or something. Okay, again to the left, then something like this. Then down the timeline again, I would say I always like to start my keyframes with, I always like to end my keyframes with what I used to start with. So I'll just copy what I used to end it, to start it, then copy, then paste it towards the end. So it will give it that looping animation when you want to play it. So so what I'll do here is easy ease all the keyframes. Easy in keyframes, that's selecting all keyframes and pressing F9. So I'm going to play it. So it's playing. So as you can see, this is more like, this is how they do those eyes animation you see online. So you clip marks the pupil into the eye itself. So this is just showing you a little bit of eye animation. So also, this is just talking about when we talk about clipping mask. So also we were talking about what parenting does, and which other one. So let's take a look at what parenting does. So I want to give you an example of what parenting does. Let me keep the background. Let me use it for something else. Then I think that thing is off. So when we want to talk about parenting, so I'll be creating custom shapes here, just to quickly show you what parenting does. So when you have two objects in After Effects, let's see this, I'll also remove the stroke. this rectangle, and I'll be creating another one. Another rectangle. Okay, so I want to create another one at the bottom of it. Now, these are two different rectangles. I'll try to align as you can see, their anchor points are not at their center. As you can see it here. So the best thing to do is you use the anchor point to align it to the center. For me, I already have something I use for aligning all this. So I think that's just, I have a script which I use for anchor points. So that's what I'm going to do. It has placed the anchor points at the center for this first, for the second rectangle. And for the first one as well, I want to place, as you notice that the anchor points are not at the center. See where it is. So place it at the, once you place it at the center of the rectangle itself. So place it there. So I would like to align both rectangles to be aligned on the left. Yes, sir. So what parenting does is, imagine I want the two rectangles to move at the same speed to the right hand side of things. If I was to keyframe them individually, they would never be able to match each other's speed. So the best way to go about it, when you have maybe two objects and you want them to move at the same speed or to go the same way without having to animate both of them individually, the best way to go about it, that's where parenting comes in. So to parent it, all you have to do is, you can see from the toggle option of track math, modes, and parenting and link, you see parent and link. That's what I mean. So let's say you want to link the second one to the first one. Maybe you just want to admit the first one, but you want the second one to move with it. So that was it does. So you'll be linking this, the second one. You just pick this link icon and you drag it over the first one. Or like I said, here it was at none. You just click on it, then you find the name of the first rectangle. So once you've done that, all you have to do is just, if you animate the first rectangle, it would move. The second one will follow along with it. So let me just, okay, even without animating, as you can see, if you move the first one, as you can see, the second one is going along with it, and I'm only touching the first one. So this is the advantage of parenting. When you have multiple objects and they are all going to be going in the same direction, and you don't want to be animating them one by one. So this is the advantage of what we call parenting. So after taking a look at that, one other thing that I feel we should now try to do is use that track mask, that masking, to create another animation just for you to get to try things. We've already talked about parenting in the last week. So now another animation that has been prepared for us to use during the masking exercise is an animation of the basketball spinning. So I've actually done my illustration. So let me show you the illustration. So these full illustrations have been designed and placed on different layers. As you can see, the lowest layer contains the background. Let me put it off. So this contains the background. So from there, I drew the illustration on the court, meaning just it's a oval, rectangles, all rectangles. Each individual ones are curved rectangles. Then I use gradients to create the seat. The hand, which was also illustrated using all the fingers. I sent a screenshot of my step-by-step to the group, I think yesterday. So then the ball, it's just a round ball with the color of basketball. Then the lines that make up a basketball. The reason why we are not drawing the lines together with the ball is because we'll be animating the lines to make it have that spinning feel. So that is why the line was not, the lines were not joined with it. They were placed on a separate layer. And now when you are illustrating the line, the line should be, you should illustrate a larger version of it. It shouldn't be just in one for this thing. You should duplicate it multiple times to create a longer set. As you can see, I think I duplicated mine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the individual lines that divided it as well. So you must do this and save it this way so as to export it before you export it to After Effects. So going back to After Effects, now we are in After Effects. So I switched off all the layers, so I'll be bringing them back on. Layers for the basketball spin basketball animation. So these are all the layers. So like I said, the first thing you should always do whenever you have a new set of illustrations that you want to animate, always lock the parts, the backgrounds or parts that you don't want to animate. So here I'll be locking the background and the cuts because I will not be animating the basketball cuts. So what we'll basically be doing now, like you said for the previous masking, but like I said, so what I said there was when you want an object to only show in a particular set of area, that is why you use track matte. So now we want the lines to only show in the ball, which will make it a real basketball. So what we do is we first duplicate the ball, like I said previously. When you duplicate Ctrl D, you change the name to mask, your ball mask, so you know that okay, that's what it does. So you name and change from ball 2 to mask. Let's see mask. And then you take it above the layer in which you want to mask it. Oh, before you go, one thing you should also notice is, as you can see, the anchor points of the ball is not at the center. Always make sure it's at the center for this animation. So you place it, you use your anchor point tool to place it at the center. I will not be doing that since I have a script that is called reposition anchor points, which I already installed in my After Effects. But you would have to use anchor point tool to drag it to the center. So I'm going to place it at the center. So it's loading. Yeah, it has been placed at the center. So you now bring it above the ball line layer because it's the ball line layer we want to clip mask into it. So you take it up above the ball line layer. Then you change the track matte of the ball to alpha matte. Now, one thing you should also see is the lines, the anchor point of the line is not at the center. It needs to be at the center as well. So you place it to the center of the line. So it's loading. Now it's at the center. So now what you do is you change the track matte to alpha matte and it's miraculously clip mask all the lines into the basketball. Now, if I stop selecting, as you can see, now we have a real basketball because this is how, let's say, these are a real basketball, a simple version of real basketball looks like. So our animation will be based on animating the ball line. That is what's going to give you the spin effect. So to do that, we'll be animating the position of the ball line. So we start with P. We start with P. Now, when we're about to animate it, what we'll do is we'll move the ball line. We'll move all the ball line starting from here towards the right. So let's try and move all the ones that appear on the left to the center first before we add the keyframe. So we are moving all the ones that are outside of the screen on the left-hand side because we want all the ball lines to be coming from the right. So that's what we are doing now. Just to get that spin. Let's see. Okay, so it's okay like this. So from here, you just add your first keyframe, the first position keyframe, add it. Then let's say you go down maybe 3 times, 1, 2, 3. Let's do 4. Then you move all the lines now move them to the left now, since you move them to the right before. So all the lines should pass through the board itself. So this is me just moving them. As you can see, I'm moving them. Let's see. Let's stop around here. So I easy ease my 2 keyframe. Then we play it and see how it looks first. So this is us playing it. So okay, it's loading. As you can see, it's definitely already looks like as if it's spinning. But once you notice it, the spin is not that much. And why is the spin? Why does the spin stop? Is because basically the lines we drew feels a bit short. So one thing you're going to do to make the spin even flow further is you will now duplicate the ball line 2 times. That is the best way to do. You duplicate the ball line and the mask twice. So click ball line, ball mask. You select both, duplicate once, that's Control D. Is it as well, ball line 2, then duplicate one more time, that's ball line 3. Hmm. So what you now do for 2 and 3 is you change their color, so we'll definitely be able to differentiate 2 and 3 easily. So this for 3, let's change the colors for 3. Let's pick, I think this Francesca looks like pink, yes. Then for the ball 2 as well, you select both, then you change their color. Okay, what color will stand out to be in between this blue, pink, and this? I would say let's do a green. Yes. So now we differentiate between ball line 1 and its mask, ball line 2 and its mask, and ball line 3 and its mask. So one thing you do is that you take the play line to back to the beginning, because once we remove the keyframe that is already on the second line and on the third line, they don't need that keyframe right now. We'll be parenting the second line to the first, the second and third line will be parenting both of them to the first line, so they will just flow with it. So they don't need an extra keyframe for that. They don't need their own personal keyframe for that. So what you do is, if you want to see any keyframe, you understand, shortcut to see any and all keyframes that a particular object has. All you have to do is when you select that object, just click on U to bring out any keyframe it has. Even if you've keyframed maybe 5 different parameters on it, it will bring it all out once you press U. So we are removing all its own keyframe by clicking on the stopwatch to cancel it all out. We'll be doing that for the second and third keyframe as well. The second and third ball line as well. You click on it, then U. Then you remove its own keyframe. Now, what you will do is this: you will notice that when the ball line for the ball line to be continuous, when it rolls, and let me put up the third ball line and the second ball line as well. So we'll definitely see what we're talking about. So when a ball line spins towards the ending, that's the first ball line. When it spins towards the ending, to make it continuous, the second ball line is supposed to join it at the ending. So it will be like as if a continuous strand. It's at the ending that the second ball line is supposed to join it. So this is where you put on, when you drag the time frame to the end, that's when you now put on the second ball line. You make it more visible. So when you put on the second ball line, so you now make the second ball line join the first one. So to do that, you just push it to the right a bit more. You understand? So the straight line between them joins, something like this. When you've done this, that is when now you will now link it to the first ball line. To create that link to the first ball line, you will go to the link properties here. You click on this none part of things. Then you want to link it to the ball line one. So when you click on it, you look for ball line 1, which is ball line 1. So by linking it with ball line 1, now all you have to do is now create a longer animation for it. So I think we went 4 times down the time frame then. So let's go down 4 times down the time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we go and add more keyframes to ball line 1. We go and we push ball line 1 even further, since now it will be continuous. So what you move ball line 1 further again to the left. Once you keep moving to the left, you will notice that ball line 2 will keep following now. As you can see, it has become continuous. It should have ended now, but because you've linked ball line 2 to it at the ending, now it becomes a continuous line, making the spin even longer. So you push it till you get to the end of it. When you've gotten to the end of it, that's when you now do the exact same thing you did for ball line 2, you do it for ball line 3 as well. You put on ball line 3, then you link it to ball line 1 because it's ball line 1 now we are animating. You link it to it at the ending of it. So as you can see, the end, you have to move it to the right for it to match the end of it as well again. So it's too much. Yeah, bringing it back in, bringing it back in. The spacing between them should not be too much. Okay, okay. I think this is quite good. No, let me. So you link it to boil line 1 the same way you link to boil line 2 to boil line 1. So you click on the parenting and link option here, on the none that is in front of it, then you choose boil line 1. Then you go 4 times along the line, along the time frame as well again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Okay, it's even like on the spot, 5 seconds on the spot. Then you add new keyframe to boil line 1 again by moving the lines to the left again, towards the end again. So I'm moving it towards the end. Okay. So I think this is good for the end. So all you have to do is just play the animation and see what we have. So the animation is about to play. Taking a while, it's loading. So as you can see. But the one thing you notice, it keeps stopping in the middle. That is where we joined those lines and we added extra keyframes. So to make it seamlessly flow from beginning to the end, all you have to do is delete those middle keyframes, delete the first one, then you delete the second middle one. So it just flows from the beginning to the end. It's taking a while to load, to delete. Okay, so second one as well, delete. So now, once it plays again, you will definitely notice that it's no longer stopping multiple times. As you can see, it keeps spinning till it gets to the end. As you can see, so that is how you create a spinning animation for a basketball. I'm trying to make it more seamless with, okay. So that's how you create a spinning basketball animation. Because yeah, it's already spinning. So if you want to spice it up, you understand, you add a little bit of motion to the hand, because if we're being candid, a human's hand cannot be that straight and stagnant without even shaking at all while spinning a ball on it. It's not logically possible for it to just be like this. So what you do is just you add a little bit of motions to the lesser motions to the hand. But before we do that, firstly, we need to check where the anchor points of the hand is. So for the hand, anchor points of the hand is at the top of the tip. But if you look at the human movement, we move our hand from our elbow. It is not from our finger. The first movement of our hand comes from our elbow. That means the anchor point needs to be at the bottom, that which is closer to the elbow. So you need to bring it down to the bottom of it. So I will be using my steps to quickly move it down, so as to save me time, which I will be using to check accurately whether it's down. So I'm bringing it down. So now, and what we want to do is, when the hand is moving, you understand, if the hand moves to the left or the right, we definitely know the ball has to go with it. The hand, only the hand can just move. So now we'll be parenting every other thing in this animation that we have not parented, that doesn't have anything parented to it already. Every other thing will be parented to the hand. So what we mean by it being parented to the hand is, the first thing is the ball will be parented to the hand. Let me the ball will be parented to the hand. So ball, this is ball here. So I will parent it to the hand. So any animation I add to the hand would affect the ball as well. So as you will notice, the ball's anchor point is not at the center. I just noticed that. So I'll be placing that one to at the center just for easy animation. So it's taking a while. Okay. Okay, so we'll now parent it to the hand. And here you notice that the ball line one is not parented to anything, so you parent it to the hand. Well, you parent it to the ball. The ball line is with the ball, so you parent it to the ball. The mask is also with the ball, so you parent it to the ball. Mask 2 is with the ball, so you parent it to the ball. Then mask 3, which doesn't have any parenting, should also be parented to the ball. Now, all those things you parented to the ball will automatically move with the hand, since the hand itself is also parented, since the ball itself is also parented to the hand. It's more like parent and child, you understand? Uh, Lines are linked to ball. Ball is now linked to hand. It's more like, okay, the ball lines are like the children. Children are linked to their parents, which is the ball, and the parents came from the grandparents, which is the hand. So the grandchildren are linked to the grandparents as well, indirectly. So now if we were to move, sorry about what, if we were to animate the hand, let's just move the hand. Let me show you. You will see that the ball will be going, the ball and every other thing that has to do with the ball would move with it. So I've put on P, so if you can see, you see, they're all moving with it. So we just want to add a little bit of swaying motion to the hand, so it doesn't just feel stagnant. So we'll just be adding a little bit of maybe front and back animation to it. So I'll say let's take it back first before to add our first keyframe, back a little bit. Then add a keyframe. Then we'll move forward a little bit and add a keyframe as well. Let's go down maybe 1, 2. Then it moves forward a bit. Let's go forward. Let's go forward a bit. Then it will go back and go forward. So I'm just going to be copying and duplicating those same set of keyframes, because we'll be moving back and forth the same position. So I'm selecting both keyframes. I'll Control C, Control V. And I've gotten a new back and forth. That's because the first one is back, the second is front. That's a new back and forth. Then I go forward in front of them all again. I paste it again, another back and forth. Now back and forth. Let's see. Then it should end with a back. So I'll just copy the first keyframe and I'll paste it on the last. That's Control C, Control V. That's what I did. So I will just select it all and easy ease every single one of them. F9. So it's gonna easy ease every single one of them. So let's play it. It's taking a while, so as you can see. So this is it spinning with the ball. So one other thing that I would love us to maybe add to make it even look even better is maybe a little bit of rotation on the hand. So the hand doesn't just keep going back and forth. So I would add rotation, that's R. So let me first, on the first keyframe, I would say, let's take it maybe down a bit,
Can
rotation
you hear me?
1, 2. Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, we have like 2 minutes, so maybe without.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay. So all you have to do is just add a little bit of rotation to each part of the keyframes that is front and back. You understand that goes front and back. And with that, you are definitely done with the animation. I would be sending, okay, I think I already sent the finished work to the group. Well, all it needs to do now is basically just add a little bit of rotation to all the keyframes. So let me just see if I can just add a little bit of rotation, just one rotation to this. Still, it's taking a while to load. This is my slow system. But okay, if we move forward timeline, let's just do maybe four. Yeah. For enter play. So it's just going to play. So it's just for you to see it. So play this. Taking a while, play before it ends. Okay. So it's just the beginning when you see the so as you can see, so that's how it should be. So you should add the same animation to it. You go back, you copy these two, paste. When it comes here, you go back, copy those two, paste. So you definitely have those spinning animation. So this should be your end results. So with that, we've come to the end of today's motion. So Aisha, are you still on the call? Do you have any question?